like you say something about like welcome to the 2 Decades Too Late podcast, everybody. Gang. You still doing gang?
Everybody? Sure, we'll do gang. Hey gang! Right. Welcome to the 2 Decades Too Late podcast, everybody. Gang, all the things. I'm Brad hanging out with Josh.
What's up?
Yeah. For those of you who never knew who we were or have forgotten, this is a podcast in which we rate and review an album that is turning 20 years old, mostly metal for whatever it's worth. Not today. Josh and I each give I'd say ish. Yeah. Each give a rating of 1 to 5 to 4 different parameters for an individual maximum point total of 20 and a combined maximum point total of 40. Hey, Josh.
Hey, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Why don't we tell the longing, just desperate folks out in the world who have just been
Mick.
Waiting patiently. Yeah.
Some more content for you.
Hi, Mick.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Today, we are going even further than Texas or Utah. We're going to Ukiah, California?
Yeah. That sounds right.
Ukulele, California. Our band today has been active for 15 years, which shocked the shit out of me by this point.
Yeah.
Formed
100%.
in 1991. They had 6 prior releases. Just
fucking weird.
Writing songs. 95, 96, 97, 99, 2000, 2003.
Yeah.
And then they slowed down after this, which probably
for sure.
Fine.
That is.
Yes. But today we are talking about the album Decemberunderground from AFI, A Fire Inside.
Yeah. Decemberunderground, one word, because that's cool.
One word, all caps. All facts, no printer. All gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes.
Whatever the kids are saying these days. Anyway, AFI, still active, if you can believe their wiki page, and I do. This album, I know it's not classified as metal, but it did come out on June 6th of 2006, which is pretty fucking cool.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's incredible.
I guess it's post-hardcore. I don't know if that's alternative rock. Maybe a little closer to true emo, almost certainly.
Yeah, I mean, post-hardcore is such a big. I don't know. There's a lot going on this thing. I mean, sometimes it sounds like. Yeah, like sometimes it just straight up sounds like The Cure.
Yeah.
From and then other times it's.
I definitely got a lot of killers too.
Yeah, there's some killers. I think regardless, someone needs to get him a pacifier.
Oh no.
I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about that.
You don't have to
whiny.
Yeah,
no.
He is but whiny.
Goodness gracious. I guess we'll get to that, but yeah, strangely enough, too, way older of a band than I would have guessed, and then also just kind of mostly the same dudes the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, not exactly, but like what?
Damn near, I mean.
96 is the second oldest, 97. 97 is the last person to join. That's fucking forever. Yeah, that counts. That counts as just being essentially the same band. Yeah. Pretty good on that. But yeah, a lot of albums for this, all sounding remarkably different. I will say that's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. Yeah, they talk about like musical progression, evolution, whatever you want to call it. I don't necessarily know. I mean, you start off as like a pretty straight up just hardcore punk band covering Misfits songs, and then then you get this album. Yeah,
wild. And like I will say, if you were a fan of theirs at the beginning, I'm sure that sucked for you. I wasn't, so whatever. Their cover of Halloween is top notch. Apps that is incredible. Were you into AFI a lot? I don't remember. I mean, it was like around.
Not. Yeah. So I mean, The Boy Who Destroyed the World was on like a Tony Hawk game, I'm pretty sure, or a skate video. And then I think Burn was really into like the album that came out before this, Sing the Sorrow. That's the one that had like Girls Not Gray and
I forgot Burn is into that. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I've been meaning to make a point of this. I don't know who in the world in Germany is listening to 22% of our episodes. I don't know if that's a VPN, but it's Frankfurt am Main, Hesse, Germany. And thank you.
Yeah, that's sick.
If that's not a VPN, please reach out to us on Instagram, TDTL_podcast on Instagram, because I want to talk to you. Even if you want to tell me how awful I am, that's fine. But I would still like to hear from you if you're actually listening to this in a way that you continue to, which is shocking.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, so anyway, thank you, whoever you are.
They're not German, are they?
Who?
Aborted?
No, Polish, right?
No,
that's not right. That's not right. No, I don't think they're Germany, though.
They're around there.
Belgium. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I don't mean to offend anybody in Germany or Belgium, but...
No.
They're close together.
Belgium seems lovely, by the way.
Chocolate's fantastic.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Anyway, AFI, Sing the Sorrow was their big breakout. Actually, Art of Drowning was like their first commercial success in 2000.
Yeah.
And then Sing the Sorrow followed it up with, that was the breakout album for sure. It's been platinum since 2006. It was released in 2003 and was platinum in 3 years.
Holy shit, that's crazy. Especially for a band that was just a punk band not that long ago.
Right. It's still their best-selling album.
That's not surprising. It's like every other song is a single. It's weird.
Every song.
It's a hell of... Yeah.
And after 20 years.
True enough. Yeah.
20.
Also funny enough,
23.
When we were initially recording this, Josh sent me... Well, I guess I'm talking to the people, but like you sent me a song from Sing the Sorrow. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I just, for some reason, immediately just was like, so this is the one we're doing. All right. And I just listened to it for like 3 straight days. And then I was like, oh, this came out in 2003.
Yep. Not the right album.
So, nope. So I'm glad we took a little break in between then and now, because 2 in a row was a bit much for me over here. Yeah,
so that's actually going to be pretty interesting, I hope, because this was a follow-up to a smash hit. And How does it follow up if you're not an AFI fan, or even just if maybe you were, like, because that's some of the criticism of this album is like progression. They're doing the same thing. Follow up.
Yeah. I mean, if you were a fan of AFI back in the day and you liked them from, say, The Art of Drowning to Decemberunderground and want to tell us about it, please do, because that's wild. If you hated everything that came out of The Art of Drowning, and you just sank like a stone, like a lot of clearly not that many, they blew the fuck right up.
Yeah.
But let us know if you want to, especially if you live in Germany. I'm not kidding. I want to talk to you. Anyway, I mean, they were around, so I didn't expect this album to sound like it does.
No.
Or did. Just from the few things that were kind of around this. But, it is what it is. But we'll kind of go back a little bit to the members who have been in the band for a long, long time. But on the album that we're doing today, Decemberunderground, we've got Davey Havoc on vocals. What a douche. Jade Puget?
Yes, Puget. Maybe.
Yeah. Guitars, programming, keyboards, co-lead vocals on The Interview. Hunter Bergen. That's a strong name. Hunter Bergen. Bass, additional programming, and keyboards. And Adam Carson on drums, with the production being handled by Jerry Finn, who has done many, 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 many things.
Many.
It's fucking exhausting to look through that guy's list of things.
Yeah, and he died early, too.
Sucks, man.
Yeah.
Sucks. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Also, I don't think I've ever looked at anyone we were doing during our podcast so far in however many years. And I saw so many individual song credits. Did you notice that? He has so many mixing credits for like a song.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they're all hits. Every single one of them. It's like he didn't touch the album otherwise, but he mixed the one you've heard. And it's like, man, that dude must have been just swimming in it. Good for him.
I put my pants on one leg at a time. But once they're on, I make gold records. Yeah, he was absolutely huge in the punk space. I mean, Rancid, Green Day, Blink-182, various mixing and producing capacities. So,
yeah,
bonkers. Worth noting, the album came out on Interscope Records, so they had some.
As most
cash.
of them did.
Yeah.
This is one of those. We haven't talked about one in a little while. Well, we haven't talked about any of them in a little while, but we haven't talked about one in a little while that has that like full backing, like actual money, like real money, which will matter.
This continued the commercial success too. I mean, it debuted at number one on the Billboard 200. It was platinum by 2013, so it took a little bit longer, but
but still this
under a decade.
I'm actually surprised this one took longer to hit platinum than the one before it, because this, for me, was just like, oh my God, do we really need to still be talking about AFI all the time? Jesus, fuck. This was like their Smells Like Teen Spirit, where I was just like, hated Nirvana for a decade because I just couldn't stand hearing that song again. This was Miss Murder.
Miss Murder is pretty sick. And it was on Guitar Hero.
It's so sick. It was a rock band, like, wasn't it? Like, you could do the drums and shit. Great song. I mean, come on. But at the same time, back then, it was like, oh, is Miss Murder on?
Yeah.
Fucking cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's 72 degrees outside and Miss Murder's on. Sweet.
Facts.
I hate you. Sorry. I don't hate you get it. Anyway, yes. Very well received from what I could tell. At least for the most part. I mean,
All Music 4 out of 5, reviewer score, user score 4 out of 5. Rolling Stone 3 out of 5 for the reviewer, 4 out of 5 for the user score.
A lot of that going on.
So it's like, if this is your bag, then you're fine. It's fine. It's a fine album. It's a good album, maybe even.
Yeah.
If this isn't your bag, then you can find plenty of stuff not to like about it, I'm sure.
That's very true.
It is not my bag, and I tried to find stuff not to like about it, and I did, but overwhelmingly, I'd say it was more interesting than I expected it to be. Very much like The Killers, like going in, not having listened to that album, and then just like being able to hear all of the like rhythm, instruments, and kind of the different stuff. There's a lot of programming, and there's a lot of noise in here.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of noises.
Yeah. And we'll get into the production, obviously, as we are wont to do, but like if you were judging it solely on just stuff, it'd be whatever number out of whatever number.
40 out of 40 for stuff.
A lot going on this thing.
You sure there's a telephone?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Like the amount of sampling, well, we're kind of putting the cart before the horse a little bit, I think, because I could probably talk about that a lot.
It's a lot.
Well, to that end, Josh.
Yeah.
Would you like to get to the review of December Underground by AFI, or would you like to touch on it a little more first?
I think let's touch ourselves a little bit here.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a track list, because there's definitely some variation. There's some ebb and flow through it.
Also, I'm a little sad I couldn't listen to the pre-gap hidden track.
Oh, yeah.
CD? Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I do not have this on CD.
I don't know, Craig. I don't know, John. I don't know anybody like that.
I don't know anybody like that. Oh, man. But
we all know Keisha from the block.
Yeah.
Anyway, track 1, Prelude 1221. December.
Yeah.
Underground, palindrome. December Underground is not a palindrome. Neither is December, but 1221 is.
1221 is, yeah,
That's
true enough. I like. Yeah, there was a second in my brain. I'm like, what? That's insane. That cannot be true.
Race car.
Anyway, race car is a good one.
Yeah, starts. It's just an interlude. But it's nice though. I think it sets up what the album is about to do really well.
Yeah, agreed.
A little eerie, little dark,
yeah.
Pointed with the sound. And
yeah, I mean, if you're like me, by the way, and you're going into this with the last thing you heard being the cover of Halloween by the Misfits, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah. I didn't see this coming. Cool.
It certainly is. I actually wish the album was more like this song as a whole.
As do I.
And less like Davey Havok.
Yes.
But I think the instrumentation's really cool. The way they kind of bring them in sequence, like one at a time throughout the minute and a half intro. I think it's really cool.
Really good prelude. Yeah, really good intro to an album.
Track 2, Kill Caustic. Fun little dissonant thing to start the song. This one's pretty punk leaning.
It is pretty punk leaning. His screams are solid.
Yeah. The first taste of him on this song.
Yeah. I know that he didn't do that for a while because of blowing out his voice and all of that. And
you'll have that.
Also because screaming got popular and he's better than the rest of us. So.
Oh, for sure. He's vegan.
Dude. He's so high above us. It's insane. Like, that's what that song from the 90s is.
Yep. Certainly like
anyway.
Joan of Arc.
Yeah, he certainly thinks so. Anyway. Yeah, Kill Caustic's a lot going on. A lot heavier than I would have expected from them.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny to think about them as a punk rock band and be surprised one way by track 1 and then be surprised by the completely opposite direction on track 2. So that's something. That's something to keep my interest.
Script flipped.
Yeah, agreed. It's not bad.
And then we get into the track that everybody knows, Miss Murder.
Yeah, you don't need us to break that down, probably.
You really don't. I did. There was actually, for the number of times I've heard that song, it was the first time I actually really listened to it.
Yeah.
There's a nice little hi-hat thing at the beginning, and then
the little dance beat thing.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. When I was like, wasn't this on Rock Band? I don't remember this being as hard as that sounds to play.
Yeah,
because that sounds hard. But
Never
it's really
there was
sick.
Synth in here. I always like the little guitar, like the solo crescendo bit. And
Agreed.
The second verse thing, the drummer changes from the hi-hats being closed to keep it, and then the second time through, he plays them a little bit more open and splashy.
Yeah.
Super
His hi-hats, I actually have an entire thing about just his hi-hats.
That's great.
I don't know what mic they used on that shit, but it must be the most dynamic microphone on the planet because I have never heard everything a hi-hat has to offer so clearly on a piece of music. It's such a silly thing.
Without being turned up to 1,000,000.
I'm glad you pointed that out because it's interestingly forward. I don't know. It's just it fills up a lot of space, and I like it a lot for the most part.
Yeah, this was when I first realized there's actually like a ton going on this album, and then as the album went on, it was like, oh, there's still a ton going on, and it does get a little bit old. But and we haven't really touched. Actually, did we say how long this was? I mean, it's sitting around like 45 minutes, almost, just shy of 45:06.
It's too long. I mean, listen. What I would think, even if you really like them, do you need 45 minutes of it? I'm curious. I'm not asking in a judgy way. Like maybe you do. I don't know. I mean, then again, I don't know a whole lot of people who are like going to listen to Blackwater Park and be like, yeah, 92 minutes and that's fine. So I understand it. I don't mean it in a judgy way. If this thing was if this was sitting at about 30, 35, I might have been a little more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I say that a lot, though. I feel like a broken record at this point with that. But by the way, I say this just as much about albums I like head to toe. Right. And I'm not saying I don't like this head to toe. We haven't got that far. But, like, for albums that are a huge deal to me, even still at my old age, I'm like, God, Winter Sun, does this song need to be 14 minutes long? I don't know.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, so I don't mean it in a bad way. Just it's a lot of AFI at one time.
It is. Track 4, Summer Shudder. It's kind of a shift in tone, but also kind of a logical follow-up to the previous 3 songs. So
yeah. And before you intro track 5, I just want to point out my last note on track 4 is this the most emo song we've ever listened to for this podcast? And then my first note on track 5, the interview, nope, this is the most emo song we've ever done for this podcast. Anyway.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thing. I was like, Summer Shudder, all right, shift in tone, slow it down. And then the interview came on, and I was like, okay, so wind down some more.
Sure, really pull it back there.
Yep.
And it ends abruptly. The interview, it is just over all of a sudden. It's strange. Samples are sick.
Yeah, they are. And it goes right into Love Like Winter, track 6, the little walking in the intro.
Oh, God.
And then
same, but
it sounds like, kind of use it to sound like a metronome almost. And then there's an effect on the guitar that I think is really just perfect for that song.
Yeah, it's really sick. But man, his voice in that intro is... That's a lot.
Well, is that his voice or is that the other guy's voice?
Oh,
he was
good point.
co-lead vocals on the interview, notably.
Let me tell you what, column A or B, bad. Either way.
Fair.
Either way, nope, I don't care who did it. I don't care if they brought back Jesus. That means Jesus sucks in that moment. Yeah.
At least at that style of vocals.
At least, yeah, I'm sure he's just fine.
He's got a naturally deeper timbre.
Hey, man, all that wine, real loosey-goosey. All right, but yeah, they got tracks 4 and 5. I kind of like, though, if I'm gonna have like the emo slow break, it's a solid spot for it in the album.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it picked things back up at 7, the just Affliction. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one I noted, like the bit at the end gets a little long, and this is the longest song on the album at 5.5 minutes, and the rest were like 4:40 and below, and that would have been fine for this. That would have been fine. Be there.
Yeah. Yeah. This was one of those moments, as I have very often during this process, where I saw the track length and I really felt defeated slightly. I was like, I don't know if I need a 6-minute song almost from AFI, or most people.
Certainly not like dead middle of the album either.
Exactly. And it sucks too, because I think the song starts out really strong. But that bridge and outro is just...
It's a lot.
It's a lot. That is a long, long... journey to get to your destination.
Yep. Yeah, I got track 8, The Missing Frame. This is the one that this one just is the Killers.
Yeah, it sounds like Dancing Queen in the chorus. Like it's straight up like a it sounds like they listened to ABBA and The Cure and then they made this song. Yeah. That's what this song sounds like to me.
I bet that's how that went down, actually.
Yeah, I 100% know that's how that went down.
Track 9, Kiss and Control. Back to the eerie tone of the album, using the harsh vocals again. Tying everything up.
Not a lot, but I like Kiss and Control. I think it's kind of emotional without being so emo emotional.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is fine to do that, but this one's just kind of normal and doesn't make me just... Mostly just his voice when he sings really whiny. And there's not a lot of that in this. Yeah. But anyway. And the break when he starts talking kind of melodramatically in the middle. Oh, yeah. Jesus, come on, man. But it was the
That's the vibe, yeah.
I know, that's the vibe. You're right.
Track 10, The Killing Lights. I dig this one. It felt, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but it felt a little Green Day-ish punk anthem in the chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got some Alkaline Trio tone to it in a cool way. Picking up some death themes.
Yeah, it's not bad. The noise he makes at the beginning is one of the worst things I've ever heard. But otherwise, I really like the song. I actually do. He kept that kind of high pitched thing up for a little bit in the beginning, longer than I would have liked. But it's a solid song overall. That what does he do? It's like a that. It just ugh.
I don't know if that's the right song, but
nope. But you all know what we're talking about if you know who AFI is. So
yes, you do.
Yeah.
Track 11, 37 mm. I think I really dig everything that was going on in this song. A lot going on again, but really cool place to put a piano. I think pairing the bass with the piano was kind of a unique choice, and I thought really cool.
Love everything about that. I pointed it out in my notes. It's my favorite. Might be my favorite thing on the album.
Yeah,
those two playing around with each other like that. Pause. You see what I mean? But like, the only thing that sucks about track 11, it would be my favorite song, and I have been trying very hard not to do this all the way. I'm trying to like reel it in.
We kill kids.
Yep. But if that track had any other singer on it, or at least no singer, maybe, like, take them off and make this an instrumental, best song on the album. Yeah. Easy. Wouldn't even have been a thought. It would have been my favorite song. I would have liked it more than Miss Murder. But alas.
Alas.
Alas. Otherwise, though, you're right. What the instruments are doing in that thing is really sick. For a group of, like, dudes who didn't have any musical talent or ability at all playing Misfit covers, I don't know what that's like. It's almost like every fucking terrible musician when they start. Yeah. We don't know anything about that. Nope. But yeah, for them to get from where they were to that song, that's cool. Cool. I mean, regardless of my opinion about whatever else, good for them. Truly, that's a really cool thing.
And then wrapping up, endlessly, comma, she said. There's some like whispering on here that I noted. Like, I may not like it in other scenarios, but at least it fits here. Definitely reminiscent of earlier AFI that I had heard, the previous album or two in particular.
Agreed.
Was a good wrap up.
It is. I'm kidding. It was actually a pretty good song. It's one of the better, probably top half of the songs on the album I'd put it in. It's pretty solid. At least it's not a bad way to wrap up, and it goes cleanly into the intro again, which I just personally find very satisfying.
Fun. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that's December Underground by AFI. Thanks for walking us through that, Josh. I mean,
no problem. That's what I'm here for.
It's AFI.
Yes.
It's that. It's that.
Saffy.
Yeah. Agreed. Wow. All right, Josh. Well, I'm ready to judge this bitch.
Same.
So, hell yeah. Ready to get to the review?
Review.
All right, gang. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome back to the podcast. As if you were gone very long. Thank you for humoring our little break there.
Right, because we edit the break out.
Yeah. But there's a song. There's a clip.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So that other people can also take a bathroom break.
What are we doing? So, Josh. So what we normally do here, for those of you, by the way, gang, I don't know who or why or when or where we've been kept so afloat over the last handful of months. This is probably going to be our first episode back, and maybe I should have made a bigger deal about that up front. But thank you to whatever. Whether it's just you listen to one song, and by the way, you won't hear this, and you hated it, and you pieced out, or whatever it was. For some reason, we got, I don't know, whoever out there is doing it, we appreciate you. Yeah. So So, Josh, anyway, we will go ahead and pivot into the... I'm having a hard time doing this now. A little bit. Dicey.
Couple of forget-me-marries over here. Yeah, it's like we're a couple of distracted Susans. Oh, forget-me-marries wasn't good enough for you? Yeah, we're doing a go back and forth thing. No. I said, forget me marries, and that's what we are.
Josh, what did you think about the artwork of Decemberunderground by AFI?
Yeah. We got the 4 parameters. We already talked about the rating system 1 through 5. So
absolutely.
Artwork. I love the I love the artwork. I gave it a 5.
All right. Okay. All right.
No more context. That's all.
Okay.
No, I can get context. Yeah, I think.
Please sick. Do, because
the color palette. It's Decemberunderground, and they got the nice gray gradient from light gray, dark gray, all kinds of gray. And then I like the contrast of the black and the white on there. If they had just done the black on the gray, I don't think it would have been as nice without the white bottom and trees. And the gray blue kind of balances everything out because the black is black and the white is white. And then they kind of soften everything in between with the gray December winter sky. Also worth noting, it's just weird that would not land for everybody. December isn't always that color for everybody. It certainly is in Ohio, but
yes,
it certainly probably isn't in Ukiah,
California. Yeah, no.
Pretentious.
I know. There's.
All right, it's a 1.
Yeah.
We know how you feel about Davey Havoc. How did you feel about the artwork?
You bumped me up to a 3 from a 2.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I agree with your call-outs. I do feel a little bit like they took one form of, I don't know, it's like they took one thing and just pasted it on top of the negative of a photo.
Yeah.
Which is what they did, and that's fine. It just sticks out a little unnaturally to me. I don't know how you'd fix that. Honestly, if you told me that this was one of those album covers where the top was a clear thing and had those, and then you've turned it to see just that, I hate to admit that would impact my score probably, because I would like that more. Yeah, it would be super sick. I don't know that one way or another, so in lieu of that information, and I'm not going to look it up, we're too far in now, I will give it a 3. All your points are very well taken. Just to me, it's like, I don't know. It just kind of does look like they took a stamp and put it on a photo a little bit. But you're right. Color palette's awesome. The negative backspace is wonderful. Yeah. And it does weirdly represent how I feel about winter, which is kind of cool. So,
kind of cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. I'm bringing the puns today. Shocker.
All right. So what about the production on this album?
Production. Kind of already said before, right? You can tell they had a budget that was probably limitless for the most part, or whatever that means. I mean, if you look up the studio they recorded in, I mean, Katy Perry's recorded there. Like, this is no joke. I mean, they went to a fucking capital S studio. Right. So the production as a whole is very well done because it's almost impossible for it not to be. I think the guitar tone is so bad. Other than when he switches to a dual rectifier for choruses and shit. Maybe I have that wrong, but that's what it sounds like. But when the choruses are good, like when he's going big chorus and the bass and the guitar play well together and they are helping each other out, I think it sounds really good. But I even made sure to look into this to make sure I wasn't on an island. I'm not, thank goodness. But the guitar tone sounds like it was a lot of the guitar tone, especially when it's on its own, sounds like it was recorded through like a Dixie cup into a string. I think it sounds so thin. I think it has no body of any kind whatsoever. When it's on its own, it's pointless. I don't know how you do that, especially with how killer of a bass tone they got. Yeah, man, that bass tone. Oh, and the drums. God. It's amazing. It's an amazing tone. And you know what? Even though I don't like his vocals very often, the production on them is incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like it or not. Yeah, it's really good. So I'm going to land on a 4.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give it less than that because of how much I hate the guitar tone on about 85% of the album, but yeah, everything else they did was so good. I don't know. That's the point I'll deduct is for that, even though it probably deserves 2, but I'll go with a 4.
All right.
What about you, Josh?
I'm going to jump back real quick and give flowers to the artwork people. Morning Breath Inc. was art direction and design. Done. Alan Forbes on the illustration and James Minchin for the photography. And then, production. You kind of covered everything, and we kind of covered it in the track breakdown too, but I also gave it a 4. I don't think it's quite up to a 5 because of, those couple of things that you mentioned. But for all the sounds that are in here and for them all to kind of logically have their place in the mix is pretty incredible. So I also gave it a 4.
Nice. Yeah, the producer did a lot of good work.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot put into this. So yeah, good call. This one's weird to me. I don't know why, but what was the impact at the time for you with this?
I gave it a 1 because Miss Murder is on this CD, and that was the only song I heard from this. And
Agreed.
Apart from that, I listened to some of the older songs and avoided AFI almost entirely.
Same. That was another group where maybe outside of Abra and like 1 or 2 other people, I found their fans to also not be the funnest.
Yeah.
People to be around. So
and his voice is so grating.
God, it's brutal.
It's
good sometimes.
It does what it's supposed to do sometimes. It's always grating.
Yeah, it's just, man, it's such a choice to make.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fair enough.
And there are plenty of albums out there that I could listen to that didn't make that choice. So that's what I chose. That was my choice. I was empowered.
Yeah. Well done. Look at you.
I was an empowered young man.
What an empowered white male. Yeah. What a fucking weird thing that is.
Write that down in the history books.
Heard it here first, folks. Sorry, kidding. Oh. If that's not even funny to you, given the circumstances right
Breaking
now, I
through
understand.
Glass ceilings over here.
Sorry. We're trying to make light of things that are really, really difficult to make light of.
Levity's our coping mechanism. But anyhow,
I've been a class clown since 6th grade. Anyhow, you gave it a 1?
I sure did.
1. Cool. Same reasons. I got nothing else.
Yeah.
I heard Miss Murder and off to the races. So Well, this is weirdly similar. I was expecting it to be further apart. All right, Josh.
Well, Let's see if this is the differentiator.
How much did you enjoy listening to this album today?
I gave it a 4. I did not listen to the previous album first, so this was just kind of enough AFI for me, and something that I knew or thought I knew one thing really well from, and was kind of just curious about the rest. But finding out that there was so much shit going on in Miss Murder that I didn't know about, and then like seeing how the rest of the album kind of played off of that, seeing what else AFI was kind of about through this album and the other tracks, it was a fun little exploration. I think I ended up listening to this album 2 or 3 times, and the first time was just kind of meh, and then the one I did for the notes, I was like, you know what, 4. And then I listened to it again, and I was like, I'm going to keep the 4, but I'm enjoying this the less every time.
Yeah,
I kind of wrung everything out of that sponge that I could.
Yeah, I get it. I
really left it a 4.
All right, fair enough. I will say mine was a 2, but I did listen to it this morning. I have been more or less in a good mood for the first time for an entire week in a very long time. So I gave it another chance this morning.
Hot damn.
And bumped it from a 2 to a 3.
Okay.
I don't know if I feel like it totally deserves it or if I'm just in that much better of a mood this time than the last time I listened to it. But either way, I'll give it a 3. I just wish they had a different vocalist. If they had a different, it'd be just a I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'd be worse. But
yeah, it could be.
What are you gonna do?
Could be just another drop of water in the ocean with a different vocalist.
True enough. Sometimes being a good vocalist is the bad call.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah, no, I mean, true. I mean that. All right. Well, Josh.
Yeah. 14 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, 14 for you for December Underground by AFI, and 11 for me. That's
yeah. 25 out of 40.
25? Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
No. For an album I honestly didn't expect to like kind of at all.
Same.
That's not so bad.
I was definitely in the mindset of like, God, please let all of this be like Miss Murder. And it wasn't. Yeah. And I think it's better for it, honestly.
I agree with. I can't do that many Miss Murders. Like, that's fine when it comes on every once in a while. Like, that's fine, but I don't want a whole album of that. Mm-hmm. All right, sick. Well, we've got a whopping 25 back from hiatus with a 25.
Yeah, why not? Start off mid.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. That's right. Middle ground expectations, everybody. Middle ground. Generally what we do at this point, we kind of already talked about the Instagram and everything. Seriously, German person, if you're out there, yeah. I'd like to hear from you. But otherwise, at this point, we generally, we also put playlists together. I will probably do that for this year.
Sweet.
And if we do, yeah, true enough. We pick our favorite songs off the album, and we will add it to a playlist, and it'll be TDTL favorites. This one will be 06. So check that out on Spotify if you want to. But what was your favorite song from this album that we will be adding to the Maybe Baby playlist I make eventually?
It was Miss Murder. I'm not going to skirt around it, and we're not going to do one of those things where we pick three. It's just, It's Miss Murder.
Fantastic. I had two choices, Miss Murder and Kiss and Control. Perfect. I was going to choose whichever one you didn't. So, right. Well, that was easy enough.
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
2 songs on the playlist. Buckle up. Loop it.
Loop it. Yeah, you're going to be listening to 2 songs. Or don't.
I'm actually going to listen to that. Because I'm curious like how the 2 are going to feed off of each other.
That's a good use of your time.
Yeah.
A new Inferi album didn't come out like a week ago. A new Archspire that has like 70 hours worth of music in it that's still taking me a long time to even like sift through.
Yeah, it's brutal. But
that
so
fucking Chimble Stoke? This choke? Oh my god.
Chimble.
Chimble Stoke?
Chimble Stoke. Soak. Ugh. Well, guys, we better wrap up. I need to go soak.
Yeah, we don't want to go get too far into Chimble Soak. I got this
really bad chimble. I gotta go soak.
I gotta go soak my chimble.
So gross.
Oh god, that is awesome.
Definitely with that. I think he's been Brad, I've been Josh, and we've been 2 decades too late.